Hey team, my name is Pablo. I'm gonna show you a project where I use Kubernetes, Prometheus, Grafana, and Lens. Lens for reviewing the logs, well, because I didn't use Loki. So first, I'm gonna show you the project I have in hand. I have three manifests. The first one is for the database, the second is for the backend, and the frontend. I'd use different services to deploy these services. So let me show you the first one. We got the backend. I use a node port because this service gotta be present outside of the cluster to access the data from the frontend. As well, the frontend gotta be present to get the access from the web server. And the database is exposed in a cluster IP service to guarantee access from the backend. Okay, so I just have to apply the manifest here, and you can see. Okay, we got the three pods, four services. One is extra for Kubernetes, but just those three. Deployments and the replica sets, I just have one for each of the services for the course purpose. And now I'm going to show you how I implemented Prometheus and Grafana in order to monitor all the resources we got consumed for each service. We can get the information for the pod, for the service, the deployment as well, and well, in general for the cluster. In this case, we need to use an extra service. Show you. Well, I download a GitHub repository where you can find. Let me show you here. In this repository, Prometheus, you can clone this repository. Just clone this, and you'll have access to all the manifest to apply and download everything to use Grafana and Prometheus in your cluster. You don't need to configure everything manually. It is just you just need to follow the instructions. As I use Minikube in my cluster, you'll see this cluster control API is running on my machine. Minikube, what we'll do is to create a virtual machine, and I have a direct access to that cluster. So I just have one node with Minikube, but this will be for the course, for the video. So here we get the instructions. I will have to create the cluster with these specifications. So I started Minikube with this command. I recommend you to follow the instructions. First this one, then we got this one to disable the metrics server, because Prometheus includes the resource for the API server, so this won't be interfering with the Prometheus server. Now we got these commands to deploy we got two folders. Let me show you. First we got manifest, where we got everything set up to run Prometheus and Grafana, and then the setup. So what we're gonna do is to run first the setup, then the manifest. You have access to everything in Grafana. So let's copy this. And we got everything running, and I need to review if everything is this cluster, this namespace is different because we got a monitoring namespace. It's called monitoring, and we're gonna see which services we got active. So we got different bots for the alert manager, Grafana, Prometheus, like to track all the data on the pods, the cluster, and also the nodes as well. We only have one node, but we'll get access to all the data on this. We have also a service called Grafana, which is directly connected to the Prometheus server. All the metrics will be mapped from Prometheus through Grafana, and on this repository the Grafana dashboards will be created automatically when you apply the changes. So you just need to do a port forward to the service. First the namespace monitoring, and then port forward. Service Grafana. So here we got the port 3000, and I'm gonna map this directly to 80 on localhost. You just apply these changes and you will see this window with all the traffic directed to this port. Now we can go to Grafana, and you will see, first let me log out. You will see an admin page, and the password is also admin. You can change it, and then you log in. Okay, we got different dashboards already created, as I said, with the repository, and I wanna show you the first one, which is kind of all the data based on namespaces. So I got the CPU usage for each one of the services on the cluster based on the pods. I'm sorry. So we got the CPU data, memory usage, everything will be tracked directly. You don't have to modify the manifest. We also have, well, different metrics, network usage, package dropped, everything. You can review by node or namespace. For example, I got all the pods on these nodes. You see here the pods back, front, DB, everything, and the pods that we got on the namespace for monitoring. So all the pods on monitoring and all the pods on default namespace. But here we're taking the pods for the namespace, the node, I'm sorry. So we'll get all this information. And now I want to show you Lens. It's an application, desktop application, to kind of see everything on your cluster. You can see the pods, deployments, replica sets, everything. I only use Lens to track the logs, kind of, well, if I have some small projects, I will see the logs directly. So you can go to pods, see if you can, well, if you want to see the pods based on namespace. For example, default, you will see all the logs, the database logs, and the front-end logs, also the backend logs. And whenever you set up Lens on your machine, you just have to pass the configuration file for your Kubernetes cluster, the same one you use to connect to your cluster, and it will track the data and all the resources you have available. And well, team, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.